wanted to give the frauditors slash auditors some career advice. I generally don't call them that, but that's what people are using, so I'll just use the term. There are some of you out there that really want to know what the law is. George Metz, for example, is one. Direct D is one. And I saw a video by Direct D that I thought was hilarious. It was Bait Truck that he put on his channel. Now, that movie, that video had great music. It had the 80s electric music, do 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 do. And sure enough, the cops are right there to pull him over because it's got an F the police bumper sticker, and that was the real reason for pulling over the cops. That should interest me. And then the axe that was taken from inside the cab, the axe was definitely provocative because it could be used as a weapon. And then he asked a great question. If a cop asks you if you have any weapons on you, what about your constitutional rights to remain silent and everything? So I'm very much in favor of that. But, if the goal is just to simply go to someplace and disrupt the business by filming and being just an obnoxious ass, that's what a lot of this is. And look what's happening. All of these guys are going to prison, getting prison sentences, going to jail. The convictions are coming fast and furious. If you look at the federal law, which I showed in my other video, there's a body of law that's being connected from circuit to circuit. You've got the Ninth Circuit for the auditor slash whatever up in Northern California. He got nailed. Then you got the 10th Circuit with DMA, the 11th Circuit with Florida, George Metz, and where are you actually left? Now, some of you guys like Chili, for example, look like you're making a lot of money. So, okay, everything's got a price. And then if you got merchandise, you might be making a lot more money than I think. All right. But you guys are kind of the exception. I mean, even Chili was really interested in figuring out what the law was. So I give him credit for that. But for the others who aren't so informed and you're going off the idea that a sign on a door isn't a law, listen, Mr. and Mrs. Non-lawyer, most every single time that sign on the door, especially if it's a government office, is an abbreviation of the Code of Federal Regulations. And yes, security officers could be private security guards. They still can give you lawful orders. Now, look at J-Town Press. I mean, didn't she get like a 458-day sentence in Alabama? Remember I showed you the opinion from the judge which said they went looking for trouble and they found it? That was clearly, don't you ever come back to Alabama again. And then what happens if you pick up another charge and you're on probation for that? Now you're looking even more time. So there was that lady that did the tearful, I wish I wouldn't have gotten into this. But again, there are the kingpins who could be making a lot of money and they know how to play it. And then there's the rest of you. I would suggest that you see the writing on the wall. The convictions will not help you in life. It'll keep you from getting jobs. If you think you're jobless now, you really are going to be jobless if you rack up all these stupid convictions. I mean, Craig Henry, I saw him. What did he get? Like a year and a half or 3 years in prison? I don't remember now, but he got a substantial. He went to prison, and this is no joke. And the more of this that happens, the less tolerant the prosecutors become because the more of a nuisance it is to them. Again, what I'm seeing for the most part are people who cannot afford their own private attorneys. They're going with public defenders who are overworked and don't have a lot of time to devote to your case. I mean, I'll give you an example. I had a client that got raided by the sheriff's department 10 years ago, and they took all of his stuff. They basically shut down his business, took all his money. I filed a motion with the judge, and I invalidated the search warrant and got back $200,000. I mean, if you have the money to hire really highly expensive private defense counsel, you got a great shot at anything, okay? But that's because you are looking to see where those lines are and you don't cross them, and you don't make things worse by fighting it out with the police because you disagree with what they think. You let me do that. I have the power to put him in the chair and cross-examine him, make him look like a liar, create reasonable doubt. You don't. So you got to know, how to use the lawyer in the way that the lawyer can actually be of value to you. And then you got the problem of paying a guy like me for maybe a year or two if the case can't get thrown out because it's too much contested factually or politically. It's a bad case and the people want to go forward with it because you resisted arrest. Remember, if you had a shot at getting the case dismissed, but you resisted arrest, you almost guarantee that the DA is going to take that case to trial because politically they got to stand up for the cops. So I'm just saying that there is a niche out there. There's the DirectDs, the Chili's, the George Metz's, probably some others. I don't really know all you guys that are looking to figure out where the law is so you can stay within it and still run your business. And then there's the others who are so hopelessly ignorant. For example, take a look at what I just wanted to show you from the IRS's own regulations and policy manuals. They've absolutely got no tolerance for sovereign citizen ideology that you are not going to have to pay any federal income taxes, and because you listen to some jackass. Remember that guy that I profiled? What was his name? David Miller. He was. I mean, he couldn't stop lying. I mean, it was hilarious. He said that he saved the U.S. Treasury, yet here he is pitching his products and books to people in Indiana. So, bottom line is, please consider a different career choice. If you've got a criminal record and you think that's keeping you back, see if you can get the record expunged. It will usually remove it for at least disclosure, except for anything for a licensed job. Go into business for yourself. But this YouTube stuff really, I mean, when you factor in what it costs for lawyers, the incarceration, the potential likelihood of a jail sentence, I just don't see it. There are exceptions to every rule, but my recommendation is to see the writing on the wall and to get out while you can. Thanks.